Welcome to Prints of Polka Dots preview of the Seaside collection from Riley Blake. We have 7 prints from this collection in store, ranging from very large florals, this is very 1950s print, to a seaside print, a geometric and some smaller florals. If we start at this end, we have 3 prints that are all the same, just different colours. This is the blue version. Makes me think of 1950s and reminds me of the Jane collection from Michael Miller. It would coordinate very well with that, as well as with its own fabrics. And the yellow, there we go. The main print is of the seaside, of course. Children, they look a bit like Janet and John, building sandcastles and playing with boats at the seaside. This print is called Sandcastles. As you can see, it's yellow and it's basically sort of a geometric print in sandcastle colours. The small dot is grey in colour. And then finally we have 2 very retro 50s prints. You could imagine Grandma's apron made out of these. Very small dainty flower on a very 50s blue teal colour, and the same print on a cream. There we go. We have a number of prints that coordinate with these from other ranges in store. We'll have a quick look at those in a moment, but first of all we'll have a quick look at the trims that we think go well with these fabrics. Okay. Right, okay, so starting off with some of our vintage ribbons. This one is called Starfish and obviously has a good seaside-y connection to it. It's not exactly the same as the background on the teal, but it's very close, and it's just a very soft complementary colour, perhaps not with this end of the spectrum over here, but certainly with the yellows and the lighters and the blue at this end. Our other vintage ribbon that we think works well, vintage trim, is this one. It's very difficult to show you, excuse me. There we go, and again more suited to this end, although this one, the green in it, actually does work well with the blue at this end of the table. More of a standard ribbon. Fancy Pants do a range of ribbons that go well with these. The great thing about this Fancy Pants type ribbon is that it's the same on both sides. It's a ribbon weight, or slightly thicker than a ribbon weight, but has the feel, and because it's double-sided, the uses that a webbing would have. So you could use that for a handle on a basket, as well as for trimming other projects and clothes. So as you can see there, again, not so much with the blue at this end of the table, but certainly with the rest of them, this one goes very well. This one is called Summer's End. This one again is Fancy Pants, same double-sided from the Off to School collection, and this is very close to the blue in the mini floral, and the yellow is very close to the slightly darker yellow in the big print. One of my favourite ribbons at the moment has come in from Japan recently, and this looks like mini bunting. It's on an off-white background, so again it suits the retro feel. And it does look like something that may have been used at a previous royal celebration. Very sweet. There we go, that's that one. We have from Riley Blake, of course, we have more ribbons and trims. The reds go very well with all of the prints, from the blue all the way through to the dainty white. This one is blue with a circle, red with a circle of the same colour on it. But also any of their red ribbons are the same colour, they just maybe have a white polka dot or a gingham print on them, and they all do equally well. This print is called Circles, and it looks almost like a flower at a distance, but it's actually lots of circles joined together on a sort of crochet effect in the middle. And the white one wears very well, but so does the red one. Would be great for some of our make it perfect clothes patterns. In terms of buttons, we've selected 2 packets to show you. The Summer's End buttons from Fancy Pants. This goes with the Summer's End ribbon we showed you earlier, and we think the yellows and the browns and the blues all coordinate well with all of these fabrics. and St Nick, which is their Christmas collection of buttons from Fancy Pants. But again, the yellows and the teals in particular go very well. The teal is practically the same as the teal in the mini floral, so that's another good collection. These packets of buttons are a very economical way of buying buttons, and you get a great variety of sizes and colours in them for all of your projects. In terms of cottons, I have a red. These are 100-metre reels. That red is slightly darker than the red in the big floral, probably closer to the red in the ribbon, but again, it works well when you're sewing. We have a navy blue, which is darker than the darkest blue at the end. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. A light blue. This is a much lighter blue than the blue at the end, but some people prefer to go lighter, some prefer to go darker. A sand colour. This sand colour is slightly lighter than the yellows used in the geometric print, slightly darker than the colour used in the main print. And a cream, which is an almost exact match to the background in the Sandcastle main print and the floral mini print in cream. Moving on to coordinating fabrics, we have a range of fabrics. Some of them coordinate better with some prints than others. We'll quickly show you those. In terms of solids, we have a navy blue. This goes well with all of them actually. It's a very rich colour. It even brings out the brightness in the teal of this blue fabric and coordinates well with the bold prints and the lighter prints. We have a range of yellows. The one we brought down to show you is banana. We think this is a good match, and again it suits all of the prints equally well. We then have some Riley Blake prints. This is the Verona collection. Because it's bold again, it does sit well with all of these prints. There we go. It's slightly pinkier red than the red in here, but it goes well with all of them. We have a sunflowers from In the Beginning. This is from their Homes and Gnomes collection. It goes very well. It's not an exact match, but it goes well with all of the prints across the board. This is one of the Michael Miller prints that I was talking about earlier, the Sarah Jane collection, and as you can see it's got the same retro feel as the Riley Blake collection and goes very well with all of the prints. Verona. The Verona mini dot from Riley Blake. This goes with all of them except perhaps the dark blue at the end. That's another great match. Red polka dots. We have Pimatex from Robert Kaufman. That's a good match. Perhaps not with the teal, but certainly back at this end with the blue and the more geometric prints. And Pin Dot from Michael Miller. Again, a good match across the board. The Vintage Baby collection from Riley Blake, as it says in its name really, is vintage, so again it's not a surprise that it goes very well with these prints. This is the floral. Probably not so much with the smaller prints, just for its size. It certainly goes well across the board. As does the Vintage Toys. We then have from Fly a Kite, we have the green floral if you wanted to add a different colour. From Fox Trails, a really nice check. Again, sort of adds to that famous 5 feel to the fabrics. The New Good Life collection, which is much more modern, and you may think, well, that couldn't possibly go, but I think because of the colours in it, it actually does. It picks out all the colours. There we go. That seems to sit well across the board, even with the smaller florals. That comes in blue, cream that you've just seen there, and we've also brought the green down to show you. As you can see, it's a very slight green, and again, perhaps not with the teal, but with the rest of them, it does sit very well. We then brought down the sunflowers from In the Beginning. Again, across the board this goes. I wouldn't use it on its own with the teal with the mini flower, but in a quilt or a project that used all of them, it doesn't clash. It just doesn't go well on its own with it. Certainly goes very well with the bolds and the creams. More for this end of the table, we have this print again from the vintage baby collection. Doesn't go so well with the bold end, but certainly with the main and the smaller prints, this green diamond with a star in it sits very well. Then in terms of bunting, there's just a lot of shout out bunting to members of our team. We've got this from Riley Blake from the Apple of My Eye collection, if you wanted a contrast, or any of the Delighted range. The Delighted range was made with bunting in mind, and the green brings another colour to the table. Or the gold with the flower. We have this as a polka dot as well, with the red being the dot. Or the red mosaic, so again like the green but this time in red. And finally, to show you today, we have a darker blue pin dot from Michael Miller. This one goes well particularly with this end of the table. I hope you found that interesting. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you want any further information, and take a look at our other videos of our other collections. Goodbye.